In the first few minutes of Grounded 2, we are introduced to a new character, Sloan Beaumont, via an ominous commercial.
You've heard about the cool changes going on at Ominent, but have you seen our new headquarters? It's transparent! Just like our new guidelines for involuntary experiments. No more teenagers. We're also going to renovate Brook Hollow Park. Just felt like doing something nice.
This advertisement promises a kinder, more transparent company and reassures viewers that the era of kid shrinking experiments is over. Sloan, smiling and polished, claims the park project is safe and that the corporation cares about the teens' well-being. But the glossy facade cracks almost immediately. Behind her corporate charm and catchy tagline lies a web of secrecy and half-truths. Who is this stylish executive? Is she the friendly ally she appears to be? Or is she something more sinister? Stick around as we unravel Sloan Beaumont's true motives and explore the hidden connections to Grounded 1 that you might have missed. First, a quick recap of Grounded 1's backstory. We know the four teenagers, Max, Hoops, Willow, and Pete, were abducted and shrunk by Ominent for spacer research. Director Schmechter ordered their disposal after the experiments, but a sympathetic scientist smuggled them out in a specifically designed carrier. This unnamed researcher hoped Dr. Wendell Tully would help undo the shrinking, which is why the teens woke in his backyard. The game's dream sequence hint at this rescue, showing a female scientist wearing a red headband and purple beads. Fast forward to Grounded 2, set in 1992. We're introduced to Miss Sloan Beaumont, the new lead of Ominent. The company claims it's changed. Sloan appears distressed about the teenagers' plight and even guides them through Brook Hollow Park via video transmissions. TV tropes describe her as mission control figure who instructs players and tries to justify questionable projects with a cheerful corporate tone. Her orientation logs paint an intriguing picture. Sloan welcomes new employees, calls herself their new boss, and tells them they are spiders in Ominent's communications network. She emphasizes corporate secrecy, urging staff to protect proprietary data and follow odd supply requests without question. In another log, she even calls herself your boss and dear friend, while calmly directing employees to follow evacuation procedures during a life-threatening emergency. These logs reveal a meticulous, almost charismatic leader who mixes corporate lingo with veiled threats, or else, hinting that she's more than a friendly guide. After Schmechter's fall, she became CEO and publicly promised a more ethical company. Yet one could argue that Sloan manipulates the teens. She withholds vital information, sends them on dangerous missions, and covers up incidents like Burgle's disappearance. Several smoking guns suggest that she's orchestrating anew atrocities, the mysterious reshrinking of the kids, weaponized spacer blueprints bearing her approval, vanishing scientists, and warnings from other characters that she is worse than Wendell. This makes Sloan one of the most suspicious figures in the franchise, though some theories suggest she might be a puppet controlled by Ominent's board or an unknown force. So first off, let's talk about why she is so hard to trust. Some of the things she says directly contradict some of the evidence that we find in-game. For instance, you can ask her about the stranger and she claims to have no knowledge on them. Then later on, you find a confidential report that is dated October 14th, nearly a week before the incident that occurs in Brook Hollow Park, and it's clear details on this stranger with their name redacted. To be delivered directly to Miss Sloan Beaumont. Below is a summarized version of our most recent psychological profile of Redacted. Despite her notable capabilities, Redacted exhibits a desire for external validation. She wants to be seen and heard. She staged several maneuvers in front of our cameras, dismantling surveillance equipment, only after she's put on a show. That being said, her distaste for authority is clear. Redacted will reject obvious solutions out of pride if she feels she cannot reclaim them as her own. This aversion has proven useful in many ways, as Redacted has developed truly remarkable workarounds to problems that even Ominent has yet to solve. When provided with the right resources, her ingenuity rivals that of our best engineers. However, she lacks emotional maturity and is unable to regulate her temper. For this and other reasons, she is dangerous. It is imperative that we acknowledge the risk she poses to Ominent if she be allowed to continue her activities here in the park. Please see the rest of the report for recommended procedures moving forward. Another file, the security update, was given to Sloan Beaumont on October 15th, talks about the new sightings, captured work specimens, and data breaches. The subject remains active at unpredictable times of day and often escapes surveillance, detailed during shift rotations or through unconventional means of traversal, including web slinging, as ID651 puts it. And joined to this report is an annotated copy of the recently released psychological profile conducted on the subject based off field notes disposed after reading. The field team is of the opinion that this profile greatly understates the unstable emotional state of the subject and the possibility for catastrophic damage if she were to attack our installations. Further action underpinning approval by management. Given that she lies about several things that she should be truthful about, it makes it hard to believe and trust Sloan Beaumont's motives. Also, she sends you out on several dangerous missions that could result in your death very easily, while underplaying it as things that are important for your survival. If she really cared about no teens dying, then she would put in a bigger effort to rescue the teens as opposed to sending in teenagers to deal with all of these dangerous problems. Now, who could Sloan Beaumont be? Ever since I first seen Sloan Beaumont, I had a thought of who it could be, and that was a specific character from Grounded 1. A character you only see in your dream flashbacks, but is actually a person who made the survival of the teens possible. Through these cutscenes, we get a glimpse at some of the scientists that experimented on us before we left the Ominent facility and were placed into Wendell Tully's backyard. Namely, the lead scientist is the female here with the purple beaded necklace. I find it interesting that her necklace is purple. It could be a nod to the masked stranger in the sequel. Also, she has a similar stature and build and hair color to Sloan Beaumont, although she's younger and her hair is pulled back here. When her hair is let loose, it would probably resemble Sloan Beaumont's. Also, if this is Sloan Beaumont, then it might explain why she isn't necessarily conflicted on experimenting on the teenagers. She simply has a moral against killing the teenagers. Hence, when Director Schmechter gives her the order to terminate the experiments, she stands her ground and helps to save them and put them in the backyard. Likewise, Grounded 2 could be following a similar pattern. Perhaps the kids are in danger, and she knew by shrinking them down and placing them in the onboarding facility at Brook Hollow Park that they would have a chance of finding Wendell Tully and Burgell. Just like in the first Grounded, here, where she decides that the kids are better off being placed in the case and dropped off in Wendell's backyard. Even though there are horrific dangers that they will face in the yard, she knows that this is their only true way to salvation, even if it means putting them in a dangerous situation, that the further they are from Ominent and from Director Schmechter, the better off they are, and that hopefully they'll survive this and make it out of the park. It's possible that Sloan's real goal was to save the masked stranger. She may have realized the fifth teen was still trapped in Brook Hollow Park, emotionally unstable and dangerous. Shrinking the other teens again could be a desperate attempt to reconnect the group and lead them to rescue their friend. Sloan might know that the masked stranger only trusts the other teens. By putting the players back into danger and broadcasting their presence, she could draw the masked stranger out of hiding. This would allow Sloan to either help the stranger or stop her rampage. Whether Sloan Beaumont is a redeemed scientist in disguise or a master manipulator remains one of Grounded's most intriguing mysteries. On one hand, she could be the caring unknown savior from the first game, and on the other, her role as Ominent's CEO and the damning evidence against her point to a deeper, more sinister involvement. Until Obsidian reveals the rest of Grounded 2's story, the debate will continue. But what do you think? Is Sloan the heroic scientist in disguise? Or is she the true mastermind behind Ominent's latest scheme? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite games. Thanks.